Welcome to Puerto Plata, where adventure meets culture. Join me as we explore the vibrant streets of this stunning city, ride the famous cable car to Mount Isabel for breathtaking views, and dive into the rich history of San Felipe Fortress. We will wander through Umbrella Street and Pink Street, sip on premium Dominican rum, and taste the sweetest organic chocolate made right here on the island. Get ready to immerse yourself in the beauty, history and flavors of the Dominican Republic. This is Puerto Plata like you have never seen before. Let's make it unforgettable. The first part of our excursion was taking the cable car up Mount Isabel de Torres to see the statue of Christ the Redeemer and visit the Botanical garden. When we arrived at the lobby, we waited while our guide arranged the next trip. In the meantime, local musicians entertained us with traditional Dominican music. We got into the cable car and started going up Mount Isabel de Torres, one of the most famous places in the Puerto Plata. The cable car, called Teleférico Puerto Plata, is only one in the Caribbean. It takes people to the top of the mountain, which is 793 meters, 2,600 feet high. The ride takes about 8 minutes, and from the windows you can see the city, the ocean and lots of green trees. From up here, the city looks small with colorful houses and streets stretching towards the ocean. Puerto Plata is located on the north coast of the Dominican Republic, right by the Atlantic Ocean. The coastline is long and beautiful, with golden beaches, blue water and tall palm trees. Below us we could see green forests covering the hills and mountains, making the whole view even more special.
Don't worry, then after we get out of the car, we continue, okay?
Er macht hier gleich irgendwo einen Stopp. Er macht einen Stopp, um in die nächste Dings was einzuladen. Also die können da welche ein- und aus.
As we went up, we entered a thick fog. It felt like we were going through the clouds. But sometimes the fog cleared and we could see the Puerto Plata from above. It looked so beautiful. When the cable car reached the top, everyone started getting out. People stepped onto the platform, looking around with excitement. We walked to the meeting point outside the building at the top of the mountain. As soon as we stepped out, we saw a thick fog all around us. It covered everything. The fog was so dense that we couldn't see anything except the tops of the trees sticking out like little islands in the wide sea. It felt mysterious and exciting, like we were standing in the clouds. It was an amazing and unforgettable moment. Everyone gathered at the meeting point and our guide gave the first briefing. Standing in the thick fog, we listened as he told us about Mount Isabel de Torres and what we would explore next.
It's starting to snow. It's coming snow now. Snow. It's coming snow now.
Yeah, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this mountain, to the cable car. The name of this mountain is called Isabel de Torres, with 800-meter height. This mountain. This blue that you see over here means Atlantic, the blue. In the middle means the mountain where we are. And then F.I. Fernando Isabel, that was the queen from Spain. They give the symbol to Puerto Plata like a friendship. Today they want the symbol of the town, Puerto Plata, right? Now please have a walk in the garden. Let's see the garden. Let's go together, everybody, please.
After gathering at the top of Mount Isabel de Torres, the first place we visited was the statue of Christ the Redeemer. This 16-meter, 52-foot statue is similar to the famous Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro. It was a gift from Brazil to the Dominican Republic and has become a symbol of Puerto Plata. The statue stands tall on the mountain, overlooking the city and the ocean. We climbed the stairs around the statue, surrounded by beautiful flowers and lush greenery. These plants are part of the botanical garden at the top of the mountain. Even though there was thick fog, we could still see colorful flowers starting to bloom. It was an amazing sight. Because of the fog, we couldn't see the statue and views clearly, but on a clear day, this spot offers breathtaking panoramic views of the city and coastline. Here is how the statue of Christ looks on a good weather day. A heavy rain started, so we decided to wait it out inside the building under the statue of Christ. Inside there was souvenir shop selling small gifts and local crafts. At the same time, some small repairs were taking place, with workers fixing different parts of the area. We waited patiently, listening to the sound of the rain, and after a while it started to slow down. Once the rain eased up, we continued our exploration of the mountain. After the rain slowed down, we decided to continue exploring and headed into the botanical garden at the top of Mount Isabel de Torres. Even though it was still drizzling, the garden looked beautiful and full of life. The rain made everything look even greener, and the fresh smell of wet leaves and flowers filled the air. This botanical garden is a special place that protects and showcases many plants from the Dominican Republic and other tropical areas. The garden is home to hundreds of plant species, including tall palm trees, colorful orchids, and big leafy plants that look like they belong in a jungle. Some of these plants grow only in this part of the world, making the garden an important place for nature lovers. As we walked along the stone pathways, small rain puddles formed on the ground and tiny drops of water hung from the leaves like little diamonds. There were wooden benches where visitors could sit and enjoy the peaceful view, but since everything was wet, we kept moving. The botanical garden is also home to many birds, and even in the rain we could hear them chirping and singing from the trees. Some of these birds are brightly colored, like the famous Hispaniola parrot, which is green with a red chest. We continued walking, passing by beautiful flowers in shades of red, pink and yellow. These flowers attract butterflies and bees, but because of the rain they were hiding. We also saw vines hanging from the trees, making some areas look like a scene from a jungle adventure. Even though the rain didn't stop completely, the garden felt peaceful and magical. The misty air and fresh scent of nature made it a wonderful experience. It was easy to imagine how amazing this place must look on a sunny day, but even in the rain, it had its own special charm. With wet shoes but happy hearts, we continued our journey, ready to see what was next. After a short briefing from our guide, we continued our journey through the botanical garden. The rain started to fall a little harder, but that didn't stop us. All around there was beautiful greenery, large trees, colorful flowers and fresh tropical plants shining under the raindrops. The travelers kept going, stepping carefully on the wet path, not wanting to stop the adventure. The rain, the mist, the deep greenery surroundings, everything together made the experience even more special. It wasn't just a walk through a garden, it felt like an exciting journey through nature, where every drop of rain added to the charm of the moment. Everything was fresh, peaceful and full of life. After a short rest under shelter, we continued our journey and entered a tunnel made of vines. It was an unforgettable experience walking through it. The pathway was made of stone, slightly damp from the rain, and surrounded by lush green bushes on both sides. As we walked, the air felt cool and fresh, carrying the earthy scent of wet leaves and flowers. The tunnel itself was created by thick, twisted vines woven together overhead, forming a natural archway. Everywhere we looked, there was green, the vines, the leaves, the moss-covered stones. With every step we could hear the soft rustling of leaves and raindrops fell from above. It felt like walking through a magical secret garden, where nature itself had built a perfect green tunnel just for us. Our guide kept the mood light and fun, joking around and making sure no one felt tired or discouraged. His energy and humor made the walk even more enjoyable. As we exited the tunnel, our stone pathway led us into another part of the botanical garden. Here the scenery completely changed. We found ourselves surrounded by towering trees, their massive trunks reaching high into the sky. The branches stretched wide, creating a natural canopy that filtered the light, casting soft shadow on the ground. Vines hung from above, wrapping around tree trunks and swinging gently in the breeze. Everything here felt grand and majestic, like stepping into a living cathedral of nature. Walking under these giants, we couldn't help but feel small. The sheer size of the trees was awe-inspiring, making the moment feel almost magical. Every step forward felt like a journey deeper into a hidden world of nature, where everything was bigger, grander and more impressive. With wide eyes and amazed expressions, we continued our path, completely in awe of the beauty surrounding us.
Beautiful flowers, huh? Tons of flowers.
Our path led us to a temporary shelter, a hut built as a demonstration for tourists, showing what traditional homes once looked like. It was a perfect spot to take cover from the rain for a while. Nearby there was even a small restroom, making it conventional stop on our journey. Inside the hut we stood together, listening to the rain tapping on the roof and enjoying the cool fresh air around us. As we waited for the rain to slow down, our guide took the opportunity to share some fascinating stories about how people used to live in this region long ago. He described their simple homes, daily life and traditions, painting a vivid picture of the past. It was a peaceful and interesting moment, standing in this small hut, surrounded by nature, while learning about the history and culture of the area.
Saludos. Todo bien.
Fría questa.
Here, come inside, everybody?
The rain didn't stop, so we made our way towards the exit of the botanical garden, having now walked through its entire length. Of course, it was a little disappointing that we didn't get to experience it under the bright tropical sun, but at the same time, this adventure in the rain was something truly special. There was a unique magic in walking through the lush greenery, listening to the rain and feeling the fresh air. It was an unforgettable experience, one that felt wild, raw and full of life. The path began to climb upward, leading us back towards the cable car station. This was the same funicular that had carried us up to the top earlier, and now it was time to take it back down to the city. As we walked, we felt tired but excited. Our clothes were damp, our shoes were muddy, but our spirits were high. The entire group was filled with laughter and conversation, still buzzing from everything we had just experienced. Reaching the cable car station, we took one last look at the misty mountain, knowing that this moment, this journey through rain, nature and history was something we would never forget. Now it was time to descend back to the city and continue our excursion through Puerto Plata.
Hola. Hola. Hola, Coca-Cola. Hola. All right. Okay, vamos. Hola, Coca-Cola. La chispa de la vida.
Our descent back down felt much faster than the way up. As the cable car glided down the mountain, we had a clear view of the city from above. I zoomed in and captured a few shots, showing a closer look at how people live in Puerto Plata. You can see that many homes are simple and life there isn't always easy. Not everyone lives in luxury, and that really made me think. Seeing the city from this perspective, with its colorful houses, winding streets and everyday life below, was a powerful moment, a reminder of how different life can be in different places. Then we got on the bus, sat back and enjoyed a refreshing cocktail. With our guide leading the way, we drove through the streets of Puerto Plata, soaking in the sight and atmosphere of the city. Our next stop, Macorix House of Rum, a famous rum factory where we would learn about the art of rum making and history, and of course get to taste some of the best local rum.
That we see in the area here, no? Yes, Luis, he's running for 4 more years. And the next is called Gine for the parliament, no? Sometimes we see the lady walking the road and then stop her in the tourists, take a picture with her. With Gine. They're very polite, very kind, take a picture with everybody.
We arrived at the rum factory and our group of tourists waited for our turn to enter. While waiting, we looked around and found a few interesting spots for photos. There was an old car parked nearby and a small decorative ship, perfect for quick pictures. It wasn't anything big, but it was a nice way to pass the time before the tour started.
100% Dominican sugarcane alcohol is aged in white American oak barrels. The warehouse holds 3,500 barrels that were previously used in the production of American bourbon. Each has a capacity of 200 liters of alcohol and produces up to 400 bottles of rum.
We made this one here is with cinnamon, star anise, medicinal blends, red wine, honey, sweet cloves and rum with 30% of alcohol. This is the bottle of the process. When the process of fermentation finished here, we put the liquid in this bottle and this is what we sell. So that's why you can see 2 bottles here. So now guys, let's try the Mama Juana. And together, salud!
Salud!
Guys, how was the Mama Juana?
Very nice.
That's good, right? Yes. Okay guys, in this part right here, I have the tropical scent flavors rum. Here we have pineapple and coconut with 20. Yes, pineapple, ananas. Coconut, who's missing coconut? And together guys, salud!
We bought some of the rum products as a gifts and then hopped back on the bus. With excitement still in the air, we hit the road again heading toward our next stop, Del Oro Organic Dominican Cacao Chocolate. Time to discover the sweet side of the Dominican Republic.
Please come in close, everybody. Avance, arriba, arriba. Ándale. Ataque. Please take the brownie, everybody. Take one each. Brownie sample. And also, we're gonna have a hot chocolate as well, sample.
Where we get the beans to make the chocolate. In minutes, they fermented before making the chocolate and some dry it, but on the farm, not here. I will show you how they do that in the next stage. Here, we roast it with machine. Also, we need to remove the shell, so we ground them up, and this is the first phase that we get. That's the pure chocolate. Then goes to the refining machine, one like this one, but much bigger. And in this step, we add the ingredients according to the type of chocolate we want to make. To make the chocolate, we take a percentage chocolate from here, and sugar and milk, and we let it work for 2 or 3 minutes. To make the dark one, we need a higher percentage chocolate and just a little bit sugar. Our highest percentage is 70% dark chocolate. And we make also white chocolate. Our white chocolate is made with a cocoa oil or cocoa butter. Same thing, it's solidified like this one. And by the way, one of the best oils for the skin. Yeah, it is good for stretch marks, to avoid damage to the sun, for hair, even to make our white chocolate, but with sugar and milk. Yeah, that's the way to make our white chocolate. Because normally the white chocolate you see all over is not real chocolate. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's all like processed like color.
Yeah. They don't make it with cocoa beans. But in this case, it is real. Because we make it with the beans too. But with the butter, and the butter is good for the skin. 2 days here, working without stopping. 45 minutes to the tempering machine to heat it up till it became a shiny like this one, and then goes to the molds for 1 hour to a cool room to get hard to wrap it or to eat it. And after that, chocolate is done. Time to taste, Marina. Okay. So we have here a few steps more. Step number 1, the fermentation. They fermented at the farm, as I was saying there. Immediately when they get it from the fridge. They just set it in a container like this one for 8 or 10 days, fermented, and then some dry it, and bring it in and out on top, ready to become any chocolate. Next step is to roast it. From here on, we start here in our factory. Roast the beans, then we run them up here. This is to remove the shells. Because we don't need the shells to make chocolate, but this is to make tea, to drink, set it too.
We arrived at our next stop, San Felipe Fortress, and took a moment to look around. The view was impressive, a historic stone fortress standing tall against the blue ocean backdrop. Right nearby, a large cruise ship was docked, adding to the stunning scene. We took our first photos capturing the majestic surroundings, and then headed inside to begin our guided tour of the fortress. We arrived at San Felipe Fortress, one of the most historic landmarks in Puerto Plata. This place has seen battles, pirates, and even served as a prison, so it's full of interesting stories. The fortress was built by Spanish in the 16th century, around 1564, to protect the city from pirates and invaders. Back then the Caribbean was full of British, French, and Dutch pirates looking to steal Spanish treasures, so they needed a strong defense. The fortress was completed in 1577, and for many years it was the main protection for the north coast of the island. Walking inside, we could see the 6 stone walls built to withstand cannon attacks.
Okay? Okay. You go with him, please.
We were given headphones where a virtual guide told us the history of the fortress. With our audio guides on, we stepped inside to explore. Inside there were many historical displays. The walls were covered with old photographs of different people, each with a description of their story. Some of them were Spanish soldiers, local heroes, or prisoners who were once held here. Walking through the fortress halls, we noticed that the passages between rooms were shaped like low stone arches. We had to bend down a little to get through them, which made it feel even more authentic and ancient. Everything was built in an old colonial style with 6 stone walls, dim lighting, and a medieval atmosphere. It was fascinating to see how well preserved everything was. It really felt like we had traveled back in time. We walked around the fortress, taking our time to look at the different displays, old photos and artifacts. The stone walls, the low archways and the historical atmosphere made it feel like we were really stepping back in time. After exploring the lower level, we found a set of stone stairs leading up. These spiral-like stairs were slightly tiled and worn down from centuries of footsteps. Step by step we climbed up the narrow passage, feeling the cool air coming through the small windows. As we reached the top, the view completely changed. The roof of the fortress opened up to a breathtaking panorama. The deep blue ocean stretched out to the horizon and the entire city of Puerto Plata lay below. Standing up here, we could see massive old cannons lined along the fortress walls, still aimed towards the sea just like they had been hundreds of years ago. The ocean breeze felt fresh, and from this height it was easy to imagine Spanish soldiers watching the coastline, protecting the city from invaders. It was one of the most impressive moments of the tour. The mix of history, stunning views and fresh sea air made the whole experience unforgettable. We stepped out of the fortress and took a walk towards the coastline, enjoying the fresh ocean breeze and the sound of waves crashing against the shore. The view was breathtaking, the endless blue sea, the historic stone walls of San Felipe Fortress behind us and the wide open sky stretching above. As we walked, we came across the statue of General Gregorio Luperon, a national hero of the Dominican Republic. He played a key role in regaining the country's independence from Spain in 1865 and later became president. The statue shows him on horseback, a symbol of his strength and leadership. Standing there, with the fortress on one side and the ocean on the other, we couldn't help but think about the history of this place. It was a powerful moment combining the beauty of nature and the rich past of Puerto Plata. And now we arrived at the final part of our tour. The whole group gathered at the starting point of this exciting walk, standing at the entrance to the famous streets of Puerto Plata, Umbrella Street, Pink Street and downtown. Everyone was excited and ready to explore. Our guide took a moment to explain how the tour would go, giving us a brief introduction about these colorful streets and their history. After a quick briefing, we were all set to dive into this vibrant part of the city.
And then whatever thing that you see on the way, if you're gonna buy whatever, just let me know where you wanna be. We'll keep on walking. Because after the walk, and then we're going back to the hotel. Now here's the last stop for this tour, now. Right?
We walked toward Umbrella Street and from a distance we could already see the bright colors above. The closer we got, the more excited we became. As we stepped in, we were completely amazed. Above us, hundreds of colorful umbrellas hang in the air, creating a beautiful, lively canopy. The way the sunlight shining through them made the whole street look magical. The mix of reds, blues, yellows, greens and pinks turned the entire space into a picture-perfect scene. Everywhere we looked, people were taking photos, laughing and enjoying the moment. The walls of the street were decorated with artistic murals, adding even more charm. We couldn't help but stop and take it all in. This place was truly something special. Walking under the umbrellas, it felt like we were inside a colorful dream, and we couldn't wait to explore more. Next we arrived at Pink Street, and everything around us was bright pink, the walls, the ground and even some decorations. It felt like stepping into a fun, colorful world. People were taking photos, enjoying the cheerful vibe. Walking through, we naturally smiled. It was a simple but amazing spot that added a special touch to our tour.
This place where we are now is Doña Blanca.
we approached Independence Square, the vibrant heart of Puerto Plata. This central plaza, also known as Parque Central, is surrounded by charming Victorian-style buildings, giving it a unique and historic atmosphere. As we entered the square, we were immediately captivated by the sight of San Felipe Cathedral, a prominent landmark with its impressive architecture. The cathedral stands as a testament to the city's rich history and cultural heritage. The square was alive with activity. Children laughed and played, while local and tourists alike relaxed on benches enjoying the lively ambience. Street vendors offered a variety of local snacks and crafts, adding to the vibrant atmosphere. One of the special things about this square is the pigeons that freely roam among visitors. Many people sit on benches in the shade of trees, enjoying the view of the square and the surrounding Victorian-style architecture. The pigeons are so used to people that they will happily take food from your hands and even land on your shoulders, making it a perfect spot for fun photos.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, Ana Vera de Youth Grey, lo grande ahora que no se queda dominicana, se queda después una, mira dos, Puerto Plata de Torres, arriba, Puerto Plata. Supiste, Ana, cuando el hombre está jodido, familia, lo quieres que bonita, y para estar despacio. God bless you, Ana, bendiciones. Yes.
Independence Square is not just a historical site, but also a lively gathering place where you can feel the spirit of Puerto Plata and enjoy its vibrant culture. Later we headed to a Canadian or American style store similar to Walmart to quickly pick up some souvenirs and gifts before wrapping up our trip. This Puerto Plata City Tour was an incredible experience, from riding the cable car up Mount Isabel de Torres, exploring the Botanical Garden and walking through the historic San Felipe Fortress, to enjoying the vibrant streets of downtown. Every moment was unforgettable. We tasted local rum, discovered the sweet world of Dominican chocolate, and soaked in the rich history and culture of this beautiful city. Even the tropical rain added its own charm to the adventure. Thank you for joining me on this amazing journey. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more travel adventures. See you in the next video.